Welcome everyone. Before I introduce myself and I will wait for a couple of minutes to give enough time for other people to come in. Just a couple of minutes. Well, we'll start now. It's 9:01 now. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Kanchan Masi, and I am the Principal Clean Air Zone Officer within the Clean Air Zone Department of Birmingham City Council. And I'm leading on the heavy duty vehicle funds, and my colleague Paige Halford is supporting us today in the production element. We will today our today our presentation is focused on the businesses. It's business clinic, as you know, and we will try and endeavor to respond to your questions at the end. But whilst I'm doing my presentation, if you got any questions, please feel free to note it down in the box and we will publish it. My colleague Paige will either respond to your questions during the presentation, or we will take your live questions at the end after the presentation has been done. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any, like I said, about the questions, and then please note that this presentation will be recorded so that those who have signed up and are not able to come in today will be sending these to you, all those who have attended and signed up. So if you want those of your friends or colleagues who haven't been able to attend today, if they want a copy of this presentation, feel free to give it to them. So without further ado, we will start with our presentation today. Then next page, please. Yes, our presentation, our focus, as you know, is mainly the clean air zone. We are focusing on the ring road of A4540, and that we are doing the Type D the Type D clean air zone initiative. As you know, the launch is imminent on the 1st of June, and there will be charges for non-compliant vehicles, which cars, taxis and vans will be charged £8, and HGVs, coaches and buses, which are non-compliant, will be charged £50. And the payment will be online. This is a government payment system, and the payments can be made 6 days prior to your visit, or you will have 6 days after. There's a kind of window, 13-day payment window for you to do these payments if you've traveled within the clean air zone. And failure to pay will of course incur the fixed penalty notice of 120. It can be reduced to £60 if you pay within 14 days. Let's go to the next slide, talking mainly about what it is all about when we talk about non-compliant vehicles. Next slide, please. When we talk about the non-compliant vehicles, If you want to avoid, we are asking that all your vehicles need to meet certain criteria, and we have got the following criteria. It has to be diesel. If it is a diesel, it has to be Euro 6 standard or better. If your car is petrol or LPG added to original petrol engine, it has to be Euro 4 standard or better. If it is gas, it will have to be Euro 6 standard or better. And fully electric or hydrogen fuel cell, they are all compliant, and you will not be paying any, including the hybrid electric as well. Next slide, please. We have got some short-term exemptions. We can appreciate there must be either your vehicles are, to give you time basically to make your non-compliant vehicles into compliant ones. So if you haven't changed your vehicles in time, we are giving exemptions for yourselves. And commercial vehicles registered within the Clean Air Zone, that is up to 2 vehicles per company, you will get exemption for 1 year. Commercial vehicles with existing finance agreement beyond the launch date, that is 1st of June 2021, and are registered within the Clean Air Zone will also get 1 year exemption. Individuals who are traveling to work and earning less than 30k a year will get 1 year exemption, and residents within the Clean Air Zone with a non-compliant vehicle registered within the Clean Air Zone will get up to 2 years exemption, and visitors to hospitals also will get 1 year exemption. Next slide, please. Here we are talking mainly about, the focus is mainly the heavy duty vehicle funds, which myself and Paige specialize in. This is the financial incentive that we focus on. And as you know, or you may not know, there is a 10.05 million funds to be given to the small and medium-sized enterprises who have a non-compliant vehicle, and you're based within the West Midlands region, and that you visit the Clean Air Zone regularly. Now, going into details of what these eligibility means, we will go to next slide. When I speak about SMEs, what we are saying is you need to have been actively in trading for more than 12 months. And I appreciate that with COVID, there must have been some hitches with when we say actively, but we will, as long as we know you have been in trading, we will take you into consideration to fit into this eligibility criteria. You need to have been employing 250 people or less. Your annual turnover should not have exceeded more than 50 million euros. That is about 41.81 million pounds. Annual balance sheet should not be exceeding 43 million euros. That is about 35.96 million pounds. Next slide, please. In terms of what we are talking, the vehicles, non-compliant vehicles, yes, so I went through the previous slide detailing what the compliant vehicles are, but within the heavy duty vehicle funds, we are supporting, and it is important for you to note that we are supporting the N2, the N3 and the M3 category of vehicles. So businesses, you will know, I don't have to go through the details of what these vehicles means. If you own these vehicles, you will know which category your these HDVs come into, what category. But I would like to reiterate that these are the three categories that we support within the heavy duty vehicle funds. Next slide, please. Sometimes, sometimes I think some of the businesses or interested parties are of an understanding that because it is the clean air zone is in Birmingham, the support is only for businesses within Birmingham. But I would like to uh, let you know that this is not just for Birmingham area. It is to extended all the regions that you see within the West Midlands region. As long as you fit into the other eligibility criteria, you will be able to apply for these funds. However, you should be conducting commercial operations more than once a week within the clean air zone over a period of 3 months. So, and again, we will show flexibility towards this criteria, because I appreciate there may be some your visits would have reduced or during the COVID period. However, as long as you show us evidence that you have been coming within the clean air zone for more than once a week over last in a consecutive 3 months, or if you have a contract that is going to be fitting in this time period, then we will be more than happy to support you. Next slide, please. Right. When we talk about these evidences, it is also important for you to know what exactly we are asking. Now, in terms of you are an SME, we have our own systems to check this credibility and check your business details on Companies House and other systems that we use. But we would require of you, what we require is your most recent 2 years full accounts. Whether applicant is, if you are a group or even consolidated groups, we would need the accounts for the whole group. So these are the consolidated accounts for the whole of the group. And if these accounts are more than 6 months old, then we would require management accounts, which show your current financial status. In terms of vehicle ownership, we would check the government vehicle checker that you can check yourself too. Also, for us as a document, we will require the V5C document. Now, when we say V5C document, it is not just the front of it. We would require the full document, which details the make, model, and the weightage, everything, the details of the vehicle. So please, when you are submitting, please submit the full V5C. CAZ usage, I've already explained to you that we would require some sort of evidence coming into the zone. It could be the vehicle tracker report, it could be your previous contracts, your current contracts, your maybe the receipts that you pay for parking at the moment. So any sort of evidence that we will take into consideration. And the next slide, please. What you are able to apply for, it is not just the purchase of vehicle. Now you need to understand, if you have a fleet of vehicles, you will be able to purchase and we can give you up to 15,000 towards each vehicle. Same goes to the lease of a compliant vehicle. When you are leasing a compliant vehicle, we can contribute 15,000 up to 15,000 per vehicle. If there is a retrofitting solution that you're looking for, and mainly in my experience, we have noted that the coach industries, they are the ones who go for the retrofit solution. And if you are opting for this solution, then we will still support you for up to 15,000 per vehicle. There is also an option for relocation and exit lease costs. So if you want to relocate from within, if you are within the clean air zone and you want to relocate, we can support you to provide you with 15,000 per SME. And next slide, please. This is just giving you the checklist of what the evidence that I have spoken throughout the presentation. It is in documents that you will be required to provide us with accounts, your full V5Cs, your vehicle usage, and we're trying to show as much flexibility as we can towards this. However, we would need some good evidence that you do use the clean air zone within the time stipulated. We would require your most recent bank statement as well. We would require, previously we used to ask 3 quotes, but we're trying to make it simpler for you, and now we're just asking a preferred suppliers quote. Obviously you'd have done this research and got to the best option that is for your business to purchase from. So if you've identified an appropriate supplier, then we would require a quote for that from this supplier for the project. We will also, if you're in going for lease or hire purchase, then we would require evidence of this as well. Next slide, please. Right. Normally, you see, I mean, the application process usually takes between 6 to 8 weeks. However, these timescales for support under HDV fund are heavily dependent on how you are able to provide the satisfactory evidence within the required timelines. So it is very important that you engage with us directly and you contact. If you have got questions, feel free to send us an email and we will be more than happy to guide you through as to what is required, what evidence should be sufficient and stuff like that. But these timescales are put it out there quite warily. It completely depends on how good your supporting evidence is. So once you submit your application form, it is important for you to know that it is not a robotic decision that one evidence is not provided or something you put in which just ticks you off the eligibility criteria. We check this manually, so it is not outright rejection for you. So rest assured that we're trying our best to be able to support you here. And I would again like to reiterate that these funds are not here to put a hindrance to you. We are here to support you. These funds are for the businesses who are eligible and can get help in these times to make these positive change. We are here to more than able to help you. So please ask any questions that you may have. So once the review is done, initial review is done for checking all your evidence, we go on to checking. It will go to a financial appraisal. Once everything is fine, then the financial assessment is fine, then it goes to a decision maker that is at the panel or board level. Now it is quite important, and I would like to reiterate that you're not to engage into any contracts or spend anything prior to you signing the contract, that is the funding agreement we call. So once the board has made decision, we will notify you that you have been approved, and we will send you this funding agreement, which you need to sign and send it back to us. Then the chief execs within the council will be signing these documents. Once it is signed, we will send you the final copy of the contract and let you indicate to you that you are able now to go ahead with your project. So although you, in principle, you may have looked into the market and all, I heavily suggest that you do not engage into contracts, because then we won't be able to support you. So once we notify you that you are able to go ahead with your project, you still got 6 months to finish your project in. So whatever you're doing, either purchase, lease, retrofit, you still got 6 months. Now with retrofit, sometimes on rare occasions, there could be that it takes longer than 6 months. And I've also seen with the demand in purchase as well, the industry is quite inundated, and there's so many other mitigating issues that are affecting the delivery of new vehicles that are purchased. So that also can extend to over 6 months. In that case, the first opportunity that you know about the delays, you will have to notify us by providing evidence, maybe a letter, an email confirmation from the suppliers to state that there will be delays, and we will make note of it. Obviously, in due course, you have to keep us updated as to how the project is coming as well. Eventually, once the project is done, you provide a satisfactory evidence, and then we will take all those documentation. The documentation is reviewed again. Once everything is fine, then the payments are released to your bank account that you have notified to us within the grant claim form. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the other government support available for yourselves. I mean, there are plug-in grant schemes that are run by the government. There is financial contributions towards the purchase of electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles. To receive the grant vehicles, you must be on the list of eligible models found on the government's website. Vans, there are currently 10 models available, and the grant will cover 20% of the purchase price of your chosen van, and that is again up to maximum of £8,000 you will get. With regards to HGVs, the plug-in van grant was extended in 2016, it says here, and can provide further funding of trucks. However, there are not any HGVs registered under the scheme yet. And then there is also electric charging point grants. That is one home charging, which you will get about £500 contribution towards the installation at a home point. And then if it is work charging, if your fleet has centralized depot or the car park, the government will cover 75% of up to 20 charge points per company. And there is yet again, there is other finance and support for your businesses on the link that is noted here on the Gov UK site. These all things we will definitely share with you. And like I said at the beginning of the presentation, we are here to assist you and not being a hindrance to you. The last slide just gives you the details of our contacts. Paige, if you can put the last slide on, please. And these are our email details, our website details, and there is direct email to HDV as well, which if you have questions that you may not want to ask here, you can surely ask directly to us by using these email addresses. So if there are any questions, please let us know and the producer will publish them. I will give you a couple of minutes to soak in the information that has just been presented. Well, I seem to have given you quite a lot of details or too much information. But like I said, we will share with you all these slides so you have them at hand. And also, please feel free to share these with your colleagues, your friends who you think maybe who can take advantage of this grant. There is one question. Is there a deadline on when this information needs to be submitted? As of now, there is no deadline. We are just waiting. It is first come, first serve, basically. The upper limit at the moment we have put, I did say if you have fleet of vehicles that will be eligible, the business might ask the maximum support that is available. So we go up to 200,000 euros is the upper limit we're supporting to. And this is again stipulated by the state aid rules that we follow, which the fund is administered under. So at the moment there isn't any deadline, but soon I think we will try and report as to how much funds has been committed and stuff like that, so people have some sort of indication. But for now, yeah, I would advise to apply as soon as possible. I'll wait another 2 minutes, and if there isn't any question, then we will bring the session to an end. While we are waiting, I really thank you so much for taking time to come. I know it's first thing in the morning. It doesn't suit everyone, but I very much appreciate your presence here today. And like I said, please feel free to share this news. We are here to help you, and we'll try our best to facilitate your applications as and when you decide to apply for them. Oh yes, before I forget, I also wanted to say that we're having some issues with our online application at the moment. So you are able to submit everything okay. So don't hesitate to do so. However, if you got large size of attachments, then you will require to send it after you have submitted the application with the reference number that you receive in your automated email. You can then send it to us directly to our HDV inbox, and then we will review in the normal way. Thank you. There is second question. We're looking at purchasing used low-mile vehicles which are compliant. Would we be able to get HDV funding vehicles in question? R3 Sprinter. As long as, yes, you will be able to you will be eligible to. Not all businesses are go for brand new vehicles. It is entirely your choice, as long as you evidence they are compliant and they are like for like the non-compliant vehicles that you have now, which you are trying to replace. As long as they are similar in size or they will be used for the same purposes, and if you think it is fit for purpose for your business needs, then yeah, certainly, why not? You will be able to take advantage of these grants.
I would just like to add to that, I noticed that you have mentioned that they're sprinter delivery vans. So just taking you back to one of the criteria that Kemshan mentioned during the presentation, the vehicles that we can support are not N1, which are classed as vans, but we can support N2, N3 and M3 vehicles. So what we would advise is, first of all, check the V5Cs of the current vehicles that you've got and determine whether those vehicles are eligible. If they are, and the new vans that you're looking to purchase, and when I say new, I'm meaning new to you, they can be second-hand vehicles. If they are like for like, so they still fit the categorisation and the criteria, then we can consider them. If by vans they fit into the N1 category, and then when you check them they're classed as an £8 charge, they're not something that we can support. If you're still not sure, what you could do is, if you send us the registrations of your current vehicles, we can look into this for you and come back to you as to whether this is something that we can support.
Hiya, there's another question here. Is 15k the most we can receive for a single vehicle? Yes, it is up to 15k. Right. If there aren't any further questions, I will end the session for today. And like we said, I also would like to, if there is other, please visit our website. There are other webinars that we are conducting on the 5th of May. Next week, we have faith group, community groups and charities that are within the Clean Air Zone. This is on 5th of May between 12 and 1. And there's another webinar that is going on the 6th of May. I work in Birmingham Clean Air Zone. How will it affect me? That's also between 12 and 1. So please visit our website, see if there are so many other financial incentives, exemptions for you, and we are here to support. I would like to say that again. Thank you once again for joining this webinar, and have a good day today.